So anyway, here come the opportunity with Steve Harvey. And I started dating this one particular fella, and we hit it off very well, and that became a thing. And so we were just kicking it or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And then here comes September. Really, I found a lump July. It was on our second date, and I was getting ready, and I found a lump while I was in the shower, and I was just like, "Well, what is that?" Right? I had never really felt it before. It just kind of seemed like it came out of nowhere. So I was like, "All right, cool." So I like pushed it off or whatever the case may be. Mind you, I'm 39 at the time, so I'm not even thinking about getting a mammogram or anything. Now I've had mammograms before, and things were benign or whatever the case may be, nothing to really worry about. So cool. Like I ain't even really concerning myself. And I don't know if it was a mammogram or maybe an ultrasound, but either way, I wasn't thinking about it. So I kind of put it off to the back. Eventually I go to the doctor for something else. And while I was talking to my primary, I was just having my annual or primary, I talked to my primary, and I was like, by the way, I got this lump under my arm, whatever. So she was just like, "Oh, girl, let's she was
How
like,
much time? I'm sorry to cut you off, Tamara. I just want to know how much time between you finding that lump and when you.
So July, that probably was July. I think I went to see her in maybe August or early September.
Okay.
That was about early September or late August. And she was just like, "Oh, girl, it's probably a swollen lymph node. Don't even worry about it." I
Oh.
said, "All right, bet. No problem. Say less." And it didn't go. She was just like, let it. She was like, "Give it a few weeks. It should go down. It's probably just a swollen lymph node." Well, a few weeks went by and it didn't go down. So I was just like, "All right, God. So what we doing?" So I made a mammogram appointment, and then they wanted to do a biopsy. And mind you, me and my, friend at the time was just kind of getting to know each other or whatever. So he's just like, "Okay." So
Yeah.
he rode the journey with me, and I went and had a biopsy, and that was between September, probably mid-September, probably the end of September. So by the time I had my mammogram, probably mid-September, had the biopsy probably by the end of maybe the end of September, and then whatever happened in between there. But it was October 18th when I got the call. I had breast cancer. I did not know what stage it was.
Okay.
I did not know any of those details. Somebody was supposed to call me and talk to me that day to go over those details, but that particular department or person wasn't there. So I never got that information until I figured it out on my own later that evening. I got the call. I fell apart in my boss's office and just could not believe this was my life. And thus my breast cancer journey began from there. October 18th, 2019. This is the same year I went to Steve Harvey, the same year, like that was the same year. And I felt like I found the love of my life, this same year. And so you want me to go on from there or you want me to? So I was diagnosed October 18th, which will be 6 years and 2 weeks since that moment. And from there, I couldn't feel my legs that night. That's how overwhelmed
It was numbing. Yeah.
I was. I couldn't walk. I couldn't. My legs were numb from emotions. The very next day, me and my guy at the time, he's still my guy, but he's still my guy right now. But anyway, my guy then, we went out to eat at a new restaurant to get some cheesesteaks or something like that, and I was crying in my platter because I believed my life. And I got up and I went outside and I prayed and I said to the Holy Ghost, I said, is this unto death, or is this so that you can get the glory out of my life and out of my story? And he said, clear as day, you will absolutely live. This is for me to get the glory out of your story. I said, say less.
Got
And
it.
I got in the ring and fought through my journey. And so
Yeah.
I had surgery a month later, around like a week before Thanksgiving. So I was officially cancer free at that point in November of 2019.
Got it.
And then I decided my doctor was like, well, let's get through the holidays and then you can start radiation. I chose to do radiation and not chemo because I did wind up finding out I was stage 1, very early stage 1, to the point where the doctors couldn't believe I found it. But
Really?
I only found it because of where it was. And that's the
Right.
miracle. That's the
Right.
miracle about
Yes.
this story. If that lump would have been in my actual, like, you know, I hate
The
that.
tissue, like tissue.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. Further, because the truth is, this
Mhm.
is still your breast out here. For those that don't know, let me educate.
Yes, please.
It being under my arm, it's called the left axillary part of your breast. Your
So,
breast
yeah.
extends under your arm.
So can
Which
you
is
show us?
what,
Can you do us a quick demonstration of how to self check? Are you able to do that?
hold on for 1 second, because I
If
just want
you're
to make sure this is charging. Hold on.
okay.
Something about this ain't connected. Hold on. And I want to make sure we don't die.
Yeah, make sure. Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, we don't want to lose this now. Come
We
on,
don't
it's
want
getting
to
too
lose this.
good.
We don't want to lose
Yeah,
it.
we don't want to.
So, let me see. Hold on. I don't know why it's not connecting. Because it's plugged up. So I
So
don't
was
know.
it? Oh, okay. So it wasn't charging that whole time that when you plugged it in.
I thought it was. It wasn't. There it is. There it is. I
Okay,
got the
good.
charge on there now. They ain't never the
Okay.
devil trying to cut us off, girl. We gonna
Nuh-uh,
be
devil
fine.
is a lie. Uh-uh.
So anyway, all right. So hopefully we
So yeah,
won't
can
die.
you
We
just
should
give
be
us
good.
a? Can you give
So
us a demonstration?
huh?
Can you give us like a quick demo of how to self check in?
Let me see. So you're supposed to do it from here all the
Under the
way
arm?
down, feel around here, and then kind of go into it from there. You're supposed to like lift your hand. You used to see the little papers or whatever tell you to lift your hand and all this, and they
Right,
tell you to
right.
start here because your breast
Yes,
extends
extends,
up
right.
into your
Oh,
under your underarm. So you have your breast area here, then
okay.
you have your
Right
lymph
here.
nodes underneath here. Correct. Like your lymph nodes are like around here, but
Okay.
your breast extends, out there as well. It's called the axillary part of your
That's
breast. Who would
okay.
know? Who would
No,
know that?
right.
Okay. I don't know what would have happened to me if it would have been somewhere else
Right,
because I
right.
wasn't actively
And God,
doing those checks.
and you don't even want to think about that.
I
Wow.
don't. I
Imagine.
don't.
Can
But
you
it
imagine?
goes to show me that God has a plan for my
God
life.
has
Because
incest.
that
Yes.
means that He put it where it was for this journey in my life to take place. I believe that. I believe that. Now He could have gave me something else. Okay? He could
Yes.
have gave me another journey, but this is the one He chose me, and that's fine. That's fine. Because He did it where I could find. I'm telling you, they're just like, how did you know? I'm like, I didn't know it was under my arm and I felt it. And like, you should be touching your body. You should be touching.
Yes.
Wait,
Yeah.
y'all
No,
know
yeah.
what I mean? Y'all should be,
Yes.
you
Yes.
have to get to know you. You have to get to know your body. You have to. And I know we like overtime or whatever, so I don't want to get too much into it, but you have
No.
to really get to know your body. You know what I mean?
So
You really
yeah.
do.
So how does the one do that? What is your approach as far as your journey and doing this battle? Can you give the audience more tips or more insight as to how to go about early detection, how to go
Yeah.
about what are the steps that you take? I mean, we know about the mammograms,
Right.
but what are the steps that you take as far as from your perspective on what we need to
It's
do?
really a personal journey. It's a personal journey. It is getting to know you. You know what I mean? Getting to know the feelings in your body, getting to know, what things affect you in certain kind of ways. Like, do you need to change what you eat? Does this happen to you? Because again, everything is just going to your primary initially and then watching your body over time. It's really a matter of learning what changes because again, the older you get, the more different things change about your body and all of that. And it's
Yes.
becoming wise in those changes in your body that you get to know. So this was really I'm very big on annuals. I'm very big on taking care of myself. I've never had any issues. I've never had, besides having a baby, I was never in the hospital, nothing. I was very, according to me, I was very healthy. I would have never thought that I would have been diagnosed at 39 with breast cancer. It just would have never crossed my mind. But, so here we are. So with
Yes.
that, I take a lot more pride in getting to know myself, my body, understanding different things. Because I'm gonna tell you this: the doctor's not coming to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have to go to the doctor. And the
Yes.
only way you can
Please,
prevent,
please.
the only way you can make sure that you get what you need or is to tell them what's
Talk
going
about it.
on with you.
Talk
You
about it. Yes.
you got to know
Yes.
what's going on with you because they're not coming to
They're
your
not
door.
gonna know. How they gonna know?
Correct. You going there with a
Mhm.
headache, but you got a headache. They're gonna give you some aspirin and send you home.
Right.
But if you
Right.
know your body and say, no, this is not normal for me, I need a scan, I need a this, I need a that, and you have to demand those things, be in a position where you can have insurance, stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. Because
Yes.
without those things, you can't get the proper care. Not that everybody can do it, but you just have to know what your options are because it's very important to get to know you for sure.
Yes.
And so for me
Absolutely.
now, ever since this moment, every little thing. What's this? What's that? What I feel?
Yes.
Honey, I'm on
Mm-hmm.
it
Me too.
because it's a journey, and you never. As much as I am so grateful to be 6 years cancer free, almost 6 years cancer free, the journey in your mind is
Amen. Amen.
always a battle. It's always a battle. The first few years I went and had my mammograms, I was a nervous wreck, crying and everything. Like I had what they call white coat syndrome, where I hate going to
Mm-hmm.
the doctor. I hate waiting for results.
Yes.
I don't feel that I'm a little bit better now, but
Yes.
initially I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to. So I made a decision, which is just not necessarily common knowledge, but I'm saying this for
Right.
a very
Right.
transparent moment
Mm-hmm.
because I knew I was probably not going to have any more kids. I did wind up choosing a hysterectomy because that eliminates 3 cancers for me. That eliminates
Mm.
cervical cancer. That eliminates
Uterine. Oh.
vaginal cancer, and what's this another one? Hold on, uterine cancer.
Yeah.
Uterine cancer. So for me, I made a decision to have that, which is so too much information. But I
No,
say that
it's not.
for anybody
No.
on the cusp of trying to figure I did that to eliminate 3 cancers for me.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing to me. Thank you for
I did that.
transparency. So let me ask you that. So based on that, what you just said, based on that alone, can you tell me a little bit of how this battle affected you emotionally, physically, mentally? How did that affect you overall?
So I had I had started. What's crazy is I started um Lord I started radiation treatment in two not 2000, what is that, in 2020, which is when the COVID started.
Yeah.
That was the onset of COVID.
Mm,
I winded up being in the hospital 5 days a week,
mm.
not knowing that COVID had hit the US.
Whoa.
So I believe God gave me COVID in the beginning of January because I believe it makes you immune. At least we thought it did then. It
Mm,
makes you immune for 90 days after you have it. That was before all the strains and all the extra stuff or whatever. According to the
right.
records, if you got it, you wouldn't have it again for like another 90 days or whatever. And I believe in my heart that God gave me COVID in the beginning of January so that the 90 days I was in the hospital 5 days a week, that God would spare my life because I don't know what would have happened if I would have gotten COVID with the way my immune system was
Right, right.
situation. So that very well could have not been a good thing for me at all. But God kept my body well. And I rang my bell on St. Patrick's Day of
Wow.
2020. And that was the week we all went home. We all went home that week. I rang my
Wow,
bell
that's amazing.
and went remote that same week, which is
Mm,
just a story
wow.
within itself, right?
Yes, it is.
And in that same year, I began my boutique journey as well as my women's empowerment journey in the same year. I
Is
launched
that
my
a,
boutique
yes.
online and
Okay,
I
yes.
came
Personify.
out Consignify at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's now Boutique Chic, but
Boutique chic.
it started Consignify at that time, which was a consignment boutique online. And that was my 2020. I would go into radiation with
Mm,
three ring binders, planning those businesses and those movements.
wow.
I would lay my binders down and get on the radiation table.
Wow. That
So I
is,
was doing that, but
wow, that's
still
amazing.
full of vision, because God told me I wasn't going nowhere. So I was fine with that. So I was ready.
Yeah, and you stay ready, Tamara. You're, yeah, I mean, congratulations on
Thank you.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
speaking of the Shiro series, how's that going for you, right? It started already?
Yeah, that was launched in
I know it was
2020.
last, what
In
was it
2020. It started in
2020?
2020. I launched
Mm,
Shiro. Shiro is called the acronym is SEE. So it's Shiro Empowerment Enterprises.
okay.
And I launched that in 2020. During the pandemic, it was like 20 of us there with masks on, and everything was online, and everything was an interview. It was crazy. I was just like, why would I do this? But again, when
Mhm.
God tells you to do something, no matter how crazy it looks, you still proceed, with the process. And so, yeah, I launched that. And that was the first time I told my cancer story. When I launched
Really?
Zero, when I
Okay.
did it live, that was the first time I had kept it a secret for a year.
Mm.
During the release of Shiro was when I told the story. That's
And
when I
so
told
let
the
me
story.
ask you, because now you dealing with this journey, and at the same time you are still, you're in the process of finding love and navigating through that new chapter in your life, that new relationship. So what was that like for you? How did that work out? I mean it was, it's
It
still working
was,
out now, but I'm talking about
yeah,
at
yeah.
that place
At that point,
everything was so
he
new.
was very like, when he tells the story, he's just like, I was like, okay, God, you just gave her to me. You gonna take her away? Like, you know what I mean? He
Mm,
was just like,
yeah.
how you gonna give me something that I, feel this way about, and then take her from me? That was kind of his
Mm,
mindset. So
right.
he stayed by my side. He stayed by my side. He was everything to me, along with a group of friends that we had at that time. And because I wasn't sharing it with the world, they were like all I had. You know what I mean? My mom, my sister, you know, different ones or whatever. But he was my number one. He was my
Yes.
he he walked. He sat in the ashes with me. He walked through it with me, and it was a very difficult, challenging way to start our relationship. You know what I mean? It was
It
just,
is.
we almost put our situation on the back burner because this became
Because
a lot
right,
more
a
important.
priority.
I think
Mm, mhm.
correct. So we've been through some things. To start that way definitely took us on our own journey. It took us on our own journey, but we've been able to overcome. And so yeah, he definitely held my hand through the whole time. And then I mean, I didn't even get into it, but on the surgery table, I winded up having, and when went into surgery for the cancer, I winded up having a near death experience on the table. I
Mm,
winded up being having an anaphylactic allergic reaction to something, so my throat closed up on
what?
the table, and so
Mm,
my doctor happened to notice it, but it could have been an anaphylactic allergic reaction could be very deadly. So not only
wow.
did God give me that testimony, but he also spared my life on the surgery table. So
Yes,
I wind up
yes.
in what was supposed to be an inpatient surgery winded up being an overnight stay because they had to pump me full of steroids,
Mm,
everything to get the relax. And to this day, I've tried everything. I've been through all the allergic reaction. I mean, all of the allergy tests and all that. To this day, they say I was allergic to nothing.
what?
They say I was allergic to nothing. So that was just a part of my story.
What?
anaphylactic allergic reaction, and to this day, I've tried all the 5 things that they used that it could have been.
What?
You know, they say it was none of, I'm not allergic to any of those things.
Oh,
So you go figure, you know, but
yes.
it's just because God don't, this is such bad grammar. God don't never want to give me a story out of being so extra. Why everything gotta be extra?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, because you extra.
because I'm extra.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just like,
Hello.
God, you can't just never just give me something. You can't just I can't just have some glory. You got to give me so much of a story before the glory, okay?
The story before the glory. Yes, I love it. I love it. And I mean, because I mean, I think a lot of times God doesn't realize that He has His, He's used you as a vessel, but not just a vessel, but an agent of
Yeah,
knowledge. So you like you
that's
like one of His
good.
agents.
That's
You
good.
know,
That's good.
so to
Receive.
put that out there. So yes, I mean,
Receive.
there's a reason for that. There's a
Yeah.
method.